All right, we are live. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight, Sunday, November 19th, 2023, as we are recapping the OU BYU game. Sean, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I feel like crap, but other than that, we avoided a spooky Mormon hell dream in Provo. So
Absolutely.
came close, but we avoided
Yep.
it.
But Sean, we avenged Sam Bradford's death by sacrificing Dillon. I'm not understanding the logic, but
we'll never play BYU again. They kill our quarterbacks for whatever reason. So only this time we had a 5-star behind our starter, and I mean, granted, we had the greatest quarterback of all time fill in for Sam when he went down, but he didn't peak at his greatness yet, unfortunately. So
yeah, it's true.
It's just he was just he hadn't gotten his full exposure to the Earth's yellow sun or whatever it was. So came up just a little short when Tress Way attempted a long field goal, which was, Jimmy Stevens. That's your choice, basically. That's your other choice.
Hey, we can't diss on Jimmy Stevens anymore because he is not even the worst field goal kicker we've ever had. That is reserved right now, but we'll get to that.
Jimmy's not a long distance kicker, but
he could nail
him. Sure. I'll never forget that low ball kick against and Bob had the biggest what the fuck look on his face in the history of his coaching career. Is like, well, I guess it counts. He's like, he literally had, what the fuck?
Did he ever talk about that in the post game? Has he ever even mentioned it? Because even in his book, he's not mentioned.
I mean, Bob's a talkative fellow now, and he's I guess he's coaching he's coaching in the XFL still, or is he done? I don't even know what he's doing.
It's something.
You could, I'm sure he's a talkative guy now. He's a very laid back talkative guy. I'm sure you could get him to comment on that.
Yeah, just as a Bob, everyone's wondering this at this point. There's emojis of you at this point.
I need to find that video clip of him before the Alamo Bowl a couple years ago, where he was more than happy to talk about the Oregon fiasco in 2006.
Yeah,
like that was a great clip. But
the one game he says, like, I have an asterisk next to it, as he should.
No, he's like, everyone says, wow, you handled that game with grace and everything in the post game, everything. And he's like, I didn't know what happened till after the fact, after that post game. He's like, I would have had a different mindset.
Yeah, and using that as an example for it, whenever you talk with coaches and stuff, so much is going on in the field. Like, they learn kind of after the fact. Like Bob, like the Roy Williams, like, what happened type of deal for it. They find out well after. But John, OU does escape BYU with a win, 31-24. And I don't even think that's the biggest story of them keeping, obviously, their Big 12 chances, while still slim, very alive. The big story, obviously, of the day was Dillon Gabriel goes down with a concussion, most likely. Most likely, that was his last regular season game of his career.
Brent telling people that he expects him back. I love you, Brent, but I think you're full of shit.
Yeah, I don't think Dillon's going to pass concussion protocol in 6 days.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the bare minimum. And so, and look, it's a serious question mark. I mean, we'll talk about Jackson and his performance in the second half in a little bit, but there are no guarantees that you're going to win with Jackson Arnold. Now, having said that, correct, he did a few things on the road that made me very happy. You saw some flashes of what the potential could be.
And I will say, he did think, to his credit, he did things Dillon cannot. And even with him being
you mean throw one of the most accurate slant routes, a bullet pass slant route to Farouk to seal the game, pretty much.
Yes.
And Dillon I love Dillon. Dillon ain't making that throw.
And the audible. Him changing it, because I want to know, did Levy
to be fair, I'm pretty sure Dillon can make audibles considering how long he's been there. But no, for a true freshman to have that much leeway to call an audible, a fucking true freshman, that's that's impressive right there. I
And his run when they threw him out in the second half, I think at the beginning before it was called back, that was great. Like there are things that he can do, Dillon can't. And I'm not again.
I got even more nervous than when he's like, "We don't have anyone else. We don't have anyone else." Fuck. So that's going to be.
Well, my dad called. He's like, "Why are we burning his red shirt?" I'm like, "Dad, if they're burning it, that means he's injured and he's out." There's no way. I told Dad there is nothing that they are not burning a red shirt unless they know for sure, and they're not throwing Bevel in.
They ain't putting Bevel's ass out there.
Do you think Venables is now going to rethink that in the future of instead of letting him play all games, letting him play like up to the last one to save that just in case? Because if he saved one, it wouldn't have burnt it.
Well, no, it depends. No, it depends on the situation. It depends on what you can do. I mean, you can't predict shit like that. So, hell, half our damn fan base wanted him to be the starter the whole goddamn year. So they got their wish.
Well, to be fair, and we both said it in the preseason as well. It's not an if Dillon gets injured, it's a win, and the win finally happens.
No, I hate that fucking mindset. Fuck that shit. All due respect, it's like no.
But
I don't want to play that.
I'm not saying it. I don't. No. I'm not meaning it as a this was expected. So the Jackson are no. I mean,
I don't like
has a history of being injury prone, whether it's the concussion or his shoulder.
I hated that shit. I hated that shit when they said that about Sam. They're like, he had different injuries. Okay, it's not like if you have the same type of injury over and over again, that's one thing. But like, football's a violent sport. Guys are gonna get dinged up. So I don't like you're injury prone. I guarantee you, every fucking football player on the planet is injury prone. Have you ever played a big time football game? Ask them. It's injury prone, and you play through some of those if you can. You play through being hurt. If you're injured, you're injured. You actually can't function. There's a difference. But no, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't like hearing that. All due respect.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think it's incorrect, but that's fair. But regardless, Jackson Arnold got put in there. And I mean, it was a tale of two halves essentially for it, because the first half, the offense wasn't doing that bad, but the defense was throwing up on itself.
Oh, no, yeah. The defense played like total garbage outside of like forcing 3 turnovers, which actually they needed all 3 to win the game.
Correct.
Yeah. Like we're hearing all the, I don't want to say excuses, but that's kind of what they are. Or Danny Stutzman had food poisoning and it was this and that. And all, that field was horrendous from what I'm
correct. And I even said
even Eddie
should be embarrassed.
Eddie when Eddie came back afterwards and did the for Suitor Scoop, Eddie Radosevich, he said, "Yeah, that field's fucking terrible." And that's like, don't tell me the Mormons are broke. Oh, we're replacing it next year. You should have had it ready for Big 12 play year 1. That's embarrassing. Correct. That's fucking embarrassing for a field to be that fucking bad. Like, it's just horrendous. But
Eddie said in the post game that even by like the first quarter, there was divots, and like they talked about like how they were even trying to extend cleats and everything with washers, like even before, and that wasn't even like. I'm sorry, BYU, you should be embarrassed by that. Like that's that's bad.
Well, you can't have the super long cleats like you could back in the day. Like, so it's like even with the washers, you can't even. So
there's only so much you can do. Correct.
But both teams had to play on it. So, regardless, it's just ironic that the offense was the most consistent unit. Lebby is like. I love how people on message boards are going after Lebby. He's like, dude, the offense was fine.
Funny enough, that was something I was going to ask you. I had no problems outside of his cute shit. That's
no. But here's the thing: win games, I say nice things. Lose games, I say mean things. That's basically how it works. And if you lose more games than you win, it's just like, yeah, I'm going to say a lot of mean things. But no, like, considering the fact that, we had to go to that game and, we needed 3 turnovers and they were forced turnovers. They weren't just lucky all the time. One of them was a bad handoff that Bothroyd jumped on, but Stutzman forced a fumble and Billy Bowman with a 100-yard pick six, the third in
dollar bill
history. So
I think you were the one who said it was like 1945 was the last one. Like it's been a hot minute.
I didn't know that. Like Eddie, like the Mike Hawk like sent that out. It's like there was one in the 40s, Julian Wilson from like the Tennessee game way back when in 14 at home, and this one. So they need all those, and like
Give him an IV. Like, and I love the color commentary as well. That was great.
Yeah, and
like,
also
I massive praise for the crew. That I was very engaged with hearing, like, oh, I don't have to have the radio on to the side to ignore what's going on. They were great. I do want to say that.
Okay, also, fuck the analytic douchebag nerds on Twitter who are mad that OU didn't cover the spread. Go fuck yourselves. So I hate all your fucking tables, and graphs. You could crumple them up and shove them up your ass. Fuck you. I hate all you analytics nerds. Kiss my ass. Anyway, back to
good teams cover the spread, and I get it, but
yeah, we were good in the first half. After up 6 games, we were that team, and then we fell apart a little bit. And so, but fuck all your analytics nerds with your, with your tables and graphs and your models. Oh, my model says you're supposed to do this. Well, yeah. Your mom says I should do this. Anyway.
But no, I mean, that's the thing I've always said in like some of the competitive gaming and stuff where they want to take the luck factor out or something. Like, guys, that's part of the game is the luck factor. I know you want to do a min-max essentially. Luck is a factor of it. Anyway, that's my nerdy side.
My model just My model says Oklahoma can't make the College World Series. Oh, I made the championship series. My model must be fucked. Anyway,
there is something I do want to cover. There is something you can't cut him, and I understand it because that's just not how
we're
it
not
works.
Cutting kickers. We're getting a better kicker.
That made me nauseated.
We're getting a better. Look, there's nothing you can do. We're getting a better kicker this year. Like, I'm at the point where it's like, I know people are screaming for someone else.
There's nobody else.
I don't think they have anyone else.
Well, I'm screaming at TV going, how is our punter not able to make field goals for us at this point? Like, I can understand if he can't do a 30 or like a 40.
Wait, did we just not did I just not bring up Tress Way attempting like a 50-yarder against BYU back in 2009 and that didn't fucking work? Did I not just bring that up? Punters and kickers are two different people. They're two different types of people, Josh.
But that's Tress Way.
Yeah, Tress Way. He's like our GOAT punter.
Either way,
he's still in the NFL. He's still in the NFL.
I will say that is Brent. You can't be going for field goals at this point anymore. You got to be. Going for
if you're in plus territory, in like
If
it's that bad, you either punt it or try to pin him deep or just fucking go for it at this point. Like, because
you can't rely on it. You really can't.
Well, he can kick fucking inside 30. Well, let me rephrase that. Inside 25, for fuck's sake. Can't even do that. He can kick extra points. And like if it's 25 or in, he can make it. That's pretty much where we're at this point. But
I mean, that is a coaching thing of Brent. I know you want to.
I don't think everyone's like, where's Gavin Marshall? Well, he's not traveling with the team, so something's up there. I don't know. We're at the end of the season. I'm not worrying about fucking kickers at this point. Kickers are just fucking.
But still to tie it into the special teams though as well. I might be the only one. I might be on my little lone island. I don't like Gavin Freeman returning kicks now. He makes me too nervous.
All right. Well, if you want to go back to, if you just want to put someone out there and go back to the old Riley days, we're just putting someone there to call fair catch. We can do that.
I'd rather have that at this point versus.
I'm serious. That's fine. If you want to go back to doing that shit for the rest of the year, that's fine too. Again, it's just
I don't mind that.
We're not
because he makes me nervous.
Yeah, but we're two different football teams. We're a different team at home than we are on the road. And guess what?
And that's true.
I can say this out loud. There are no more road games for the rest of the year. It is going to be a home game, neutral site.
Yep,
two or three more times. We'll see what happens there.
Dad. Well, and while you say that as well, this thought just occurred to me as well. Dad asked me, was there any post-game interview about players about the elevation? He's like, surely it didn't affect them. I'm like, yeah, it did. Billy Bowman outright said, dude, when I was running it back, I kept getting exhausted over, and then it would hit you again and again. He's like, it's a feeling he's never felt before. Absolutely,
yeah.
It's been a
factor.
Well,
if you've ever been there, have you ever been to that part of the country?
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been to a Colorado or you've been to a Wyoming or anything like that.
I've been to Provo. Yeah. So, if you do even a little bit of strenuous, it gets intense.
Yeah. So I ain't going to fucking Provo anytime soon. And we're never coming back anytime soon. So, because TCU is it pretty much.
Well, but before TCU, there's one more thing on this game I do want to mention, and I don't understand the penalties still, just like Stogner making like silly freshman mistakes. I know
we are what we are. But. Like, I mean, we can if this is September, I'd talk about it, but this is who we are.
But is that a coaching thing or is that a player thing at this point?
Nothing's going to change.
I think that is a good question, though.
Yeah, but we're in mid-November. Nothing's going to change with it. This is what our product is, and we have to win with it the best we can. So, I know you want to pre-snap penalties and all this stuff. As I've said many times before, we're getting like 20+ early enrollees for January, and we haven't even counted. That's before we go to the portal. That's even before the portal. So
anyway,
so we need a portal. We need a portal bodies regardless of those 20+, because
we need some for the D line as well.
So you say some, like we're losing a lot of those guys, and
80% is still some. I mean, it's
Danny Okoye and David Stone and Nigel Smith and all those guys.
Take time. It's going to take time for him to still learn, though.
Well, yeah, because PJ will have another year to develop, and hopefully I hope next year is his coming out party, because he's shown flashes. Like, he doesn't get his flowers because he's been like so close to making plays so many times this year. Because I see there's PJ, there's PJ again. Yep. Oh, there's PJ. PJ's
so close. Yeah,
but he's going to take it. He needs like a whole nother off season to add a little bit more quickness, a little bit more speed, develop the upper body a little bit. He's going to be a monster. I still believe that.
Oh, I do too. It's like you can see it, but he needs that.
He would have been like the, I don't want to call him the hero, but he would have been like a made man if he was just a half a second quicker on that last throw by Ewers. And he would have like, boom, just like, that's gone. He was that close, but anyway.
Oh, dude, he is that close, and he's going to get one. I think he'll get one. But we're 9-2. We are right on track with what a lot of people said. Potentially 9-3, 10-2, 10-3.
9-3. We ain't. First of all, I'll put this out there. We ain't losing on Friday.
I don't think so either. But this is where people expected us. Now are we going to meet expectations?
First of all, we ain't losing on Friday. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. Whether Jackson Arnold is the starter or not, we ain't losing on Friday. So I'm going to make a bold declarative statement. We ain't losing on Friday. So because I think it's going to be an early kick. It's going to be a very lethargic crowd early because it's the day after Thanksgiving.
I'll be there.
It's 11 a.m. The last 11. It's the last 11 a.m. kick in the Big 12 ever, outside of potentially the week after.
And how is it like the biggest final kind of fuck you from the Big 12 on a Friday game? You're going to get 11 a.m.
Really? I'm glad they're playing on Friday. Great. You know what it means for me? I get the rest of the weekend to do whatever the fuck I want. For me personally, for doing all that, it's the Friday first noon kick on Friday. Fuck yes, I love that shit.
Real fast. I want to pivot just because I just saw this that the Big 12 had to release clarification yet again about the Big 12 scenario,
and nobody can understand what the fuck it says.
No, because they're fucking morons.
It's like
I'm sorry, they're incompetent. I'm sorry.
It's like, guys, here's what you do. For the teams that are still alive, even the 1%ers, that, you know what I mean, break it down team by team. Here's what Oklahoma needs. Here's what Texas needs. Here's what Oklahoma State needs. Here's what K-State needs. Here's what, and so on and so on. Here's the bottom line for Oklahoma. If Oklahoma gets in, we're playing Texas. There's no other matchup. There's no OSU. There's no K-State. It's Texas or bust.
You're right. Well, no, because if Texas Tech wins Friday, they say there is no clear-cut person in that announcement. They said it can be anything goes.
Yes, Josh, because they have to wait the other games to play out. But there is almost zero chance for Texas not to make it. It would All right. You educate me. Tell me the scenario where Texas doesn't make it. I'll wait.
If Texas loses from their announcement, if Texas loses on Friday and 2 or 3,
that means they haven't. No, Josh, listen. It means they haven't clinched yet. It means they have to wait for a couple other games to happen.
Hold on.
There's no way Texas is not making it. There's not a single scenario.
There was more to the sentence. Hold on. There's more to the sentence.
I've read this thing 8 times.
The one that was released an hour ago.
Yes, the one that was. There is no.
It says at the end that Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas, there will be 3 or 4 teams tied. Multiple scenarios exist. They say in there, no team can clinch a bid to the championship
because they need Saturday. Other games to play out. And however some of these games play out, Texas is going to clinch no matter what. There is no way Texas does not clinch. It would have to be ridiculous. I want someone to find me, please, someone find me the scenario where Texas is not in. Because if they lose to Tech, oh well, like, find me a match. I guess they would need Oklahoma to lose potentially, which that ain't fucking happening. So, and guess what? Texas, they're beating Tech. That's happening. So those are 2 things that are, in my opinion, you can make declarative statements on right now. OU and Texas are winning. So... Listen, I've ripped on Texas for years. They choke and all this bullshit. I agree to an extent, but they ain't losing to Tech at home. Tech is garbage. So moving on.
Then back to TCU then. 11 a.m. Friday. Yeah, I'll be there. It's going to be 50 degrees out, but I'll be there.
All right.
Watch the last Big 12.
Wear a light sweater.
I'll wear my jacket.
We basically need the easiest way for OU. Obviously you beat TCU. Texas beats Tech. Trust me, life is going to be a lot more easier in theory for this to work out if Texas just wins. It just makes it easier. So you're going to want a spooky Mormon hell dream to take place in Stillwater.
Which is possible.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, is it likely? No. We'll see. We'll see. But if a spooky Mormon hell dream takes place in our favor, by all means. And also, it would be really nice if Iowa State beat K-State because it makes it so simple. You don't have to do because then you don't deal with tiebreakers. It's like
correct.
OU is like the only 2-loss team left, pretty much. So if like K-State loses, OSU loses, Texas wins, OU wins, it's OU Texas straight up. So that is the simplest path for Oklahoma. Now
it's not done yet.
No. We're gonna have to deal with this shit all week, and it's gonna be, I feel like we're doing the old ACC wheel of destiny from college.
Did we finally dust that one off?
from college football final. Wheel of destiny. Yeah.
From Sports Nation.
No, that was college football final. That's not Sports Nation.
I thought it was.
That was a college football final invention. The Wheel of Destiny, the ACC Wheel of Destiny.
I mean, that's still taking it back. But even then, though, I agree with you. Even though my tinfoil hat, Mark is going to want Texas Tech to win in Austin. But that's my.
He wished them luck personally when he came before the season started. So
right, and if they do win, I will be the first one to be like, "I told you so. I told you so." But they're not going to lose to Tech.
Texas
I do think BYU.
Tech is not they're not beating Texas.
I do think BYU has a chance. They're 5-6. They need one more win.
Well, yeah, they're going to play.
I think they have a chance.
They're going to play hard because they want to go to a bowl, and so I'm rooting for this. Listen, I'm rooting for the spooky Mormon hell dream. But if the spooky Mormon hell dream does not happen, the other scenario for OU is Tech beats Texas, which again, and then Iowa State beats K-State, and we win. We're in basically. Yeah. So. Friday night is when Texas plays Tech. That's going to dictate how you want your Saturday to go. Correct. So if Texas wins, it's like spooky Mormon hell dream is what you're rooting for and nothing else. So that's the end of that. So everyone's trying to figure out the language of like all the tiebreakers and who needs what, and they have to, and no one can decipher it because it's just a jumbled mess. And every reporter, every beat guy is calling up. Can you make this simpler? Can you just, someone's going to break it down on one of these college shows or something and break it down for what each team needs. And nobody's going to care. They're not going to care nationally that much because it only affects Texas for a playoff bid because they're the only team that can get one in the Big 12 at this point.
Correct.
You don't lose to fucking Kansas and OSU. We don't have the conversation, but here we are. So,
yep.
But yeah, it's everyone's like trying to figure out what's going on with Florida State. Like everyone's trying to secretly get Florida State out of the playoff now because that poor kid, man. He had a horrid leg injury. Their QB.
What happened? Because I actually missed that game.
He dislocated a part in his leg. It was not good to watch. It was like
he got spaghetti knee.
It was not supposed to turn that way. And so our good friend Trav, he's done for a while, and I don't know what his NFL future is, but oh, dude, you're asking SEC tiebreakers. I ain't doing that till. First of all, let's see if we can beat Alabama first.
Well, I'm going to add this in. It's irrelevant because it's all about divisions. They have to revise it this summer anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's going to be completely changed.
You make a good point because this is the last year for divisions, so we have no idea what they're going to be anyway. But still, let's see if we can beat Alabama first before we talk about tiebreakers for the SEC.
Florida State, their quarterback's out, puts their playoff. I'm not going to say in danger, but winning it all, yeah.
Well, everyone's trying to figure out ways to bump them out of the playoff, even though they're still undefeated. So they got to play Kentucky. I'm thinking of Louisville. They got to play Florida, who just threw up on themselves on a 4th and 17 that would have won them the game. Our good former commitment, Luther Burden, made them look stupid. Got a huge catch that got them into field goal range, and they even got closer than that. Drinkowicz rolled the dice. I'm going to throw the ball more. What are you doing, Drink? And he made it like a chip shot field goal, just to be sure. Yeah. But it's like, I was like, man, if you fuck this up, Drinkowicz, if I throw the ball more. But I was waiting for that. I was like, here we go. And Florida choked. Okay, Missouri still wins. So there is a chance for OU if they go 10-2.
That's what I was going to say. Credit to them for Missouri this year. They're having a great season. Like, credit to them.
What made me think of that real quick is I know everyone's trying to figure out what, like, On3 has us predicted to potentially go to the Peach Bowl potentially against Tulane.
Really? I'm seeing
okay. Well, no, that On3 just like put their I think it's Andy Staples' predictions.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue it, but
the problem is it's like, are you picking like the Peach Bowl? Are they going to pick OU or are they going to pick Missouri? Because the Peach Bowl's kind of they don't really have. The Peach Bowl doesn't really have a hard set affiliation. I mean, back in the old days, it used to be an SEC ACC game.
It's kind of been up in the air.
But it's like someone's got to take Tulane if Tulane ends up or hell, fuck, it could be like people are just penciling in Tulane. SMU could still be that team that wins the G5 spot. So, yeah. And how fucking pathetic would that be if we end up playing SMU again? That would be such a fucking buzzkill.
First, same as the first. Yeah.
That would be such a fucking buzzkill way to play SMU. Oh, we gotta do this shit again. Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, it would.
This is why I like my enthusiasm for bowl games, and that are not the playoff. Or like, whatever, I don't care. I just want to get in and get out. No one gets hurt.
What are the playoff sites again this year? It's the Rose Bowl,
Sugar and Rose.
Sugar and Rose. I was gonna say, wouldn't it be easy to put OU in the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, but they're gonna more likely, if Texas doesn't make the playoff, they're gonna take Texas more than likely. Because the Big 12 normally is slotted to go to the Sugar, but that's a playoff game. So a lot of people are penciling in Texas to get to the playoff, and I would like that to not happen. That's just me. I'm a little biased, so I would like
they're going to get blown out if they go to the playoffs.
Well, I would like to do that personally. I would like to go to Arlington and just say, hi, it's me again. You might remember me from October. We met and people keep saying you're better than us, and we would like to make a clarification, if you know what I mean, with these tiebreakers that got us in the game. Yeah, people seem to be confused with the tiebreakers. Like, how come K-State gets in with a tiebreaker thing? And it's like,
it's just how it plays out.
Well, no, it's because they have to go to if Texas
head to head.
Well, no, it's not head to head. If like we're in a 3-way tie with somebody, like for that to work,
right? They start going to the different.
Well, no, hang on. All 3 teams have to have played each other for that head to head to work. If it doesn't, they find the first common opponent, and then they go by the record. Like, did you win or lose? And the common opponent for Texas, K-State, and Oklahoma is Kansas.
Yep.
So you don't lose that fucking game in Lawrence.
Now, my understanding
it's a win and in. It's a win and in on Friday.
My understanding though is they take all the teams, but there's only one team. But
because I've done that fucking simulator over and over again, and no matter what you change, it doesn't matter where Kansas is. If it's the 4th team, like it always ends up at Kansas because that's the first team it always hits every time.
Right.
So again, so everyone's like, how come? But Texas beat K-State and we beat Texas. Like, I understand that, and that would make logical sense if we were just going by those 3 teams. But I hate all like. I'm like this, like we shouldn't be in the situation because we fucked ourselves by losing 2 back-to-back games. So if we don't get to the Big 12 championship, I ain't going to complain that much. I'll be upset. I'll be sad. I'll have a droopy face and go, I wish we were there. But it's our own fault. We lost to 2 teams that frankly we should have beat.
Well, and I'll throw this at you because I thought about it. Say this team goes 11-2, regardless if it's a New Year's Six or an Alamo, would you say this season's a bust then?
No.
Or disappointment?
Based on what happened last year? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, based on the expectations we put to try to get to Arlington.
No, I don't consider it a bust. I said before the year, you've heard me say this. I said, Brent needs a trophy on the media guide. He's got one. He got the golden hat. So you can put that on the media guide and use that for recruiting. So you got that in your favor. Getting both was going to be icing on the cake, period.
Gotcha.
So that was me. If you manage to get to the fucking playoff, it's like, oh, you overshot your expectations. And listen, when you beat Texas, expectations went up for everybody, whether fair or not. Expectations went up. So if you want to say they failed, okay, but I'm not going to be like that. I'm not failed, but disappointed that I don't post.
I
don't post on fucking message boards every day and wake up at 7:00 in the morning and say, "Here are my thoughts on Jeff Lippy." No, because I'm not a fucking message board loser. I have other shit that goes through my head during the day.
Right. Well, that's why I asked if is it a disappointment. It's one of those. It varies because you win. You win 11.
You can be disappointed. Great. I'm not saying you're not. You can't be disappointed or you shouldn't be disappointed. Sure, because it's the way we lost those 2 games. It's like, well, we should have fucking lost because we basically beat our fucking selves. And people won't blame.
That also goes back though to it OU needs to respect teams are going to play you their hardest and they don't at times. But Britt's also said keeping them week to week is difficult. But
it's not even that. It's just the fact that you get a different football team every week. Like I see too much good to be up for people saying whether it's a positive or negative or should I be upset or disappointed. I see too much positives going into next year than I do negatives. So now next year we go into a much tougher schedule. So
correct.
Getting double-digit wins next year would be a massive fucking achievement. Correct. Because we have 4 garbage non-conference games, so we're already SEC ready there. And listen, is Missouri going to be that good next year? Fuck no. I don't expect Drinkwitz to be back-to-back that good. His recruiting class this year isn't even that good so far. He ain't going to finish with a top 10 fucking class. So
no.
I look
Auburn's
at Missouri.
Not going to be good.
You got be careful when I know Auburn lost to fucking New Mexico State or the fuck, but
Auburn looks like trash this year.
Okay, but this is college football, and I know if you do, I want you to think about Auburn for a minute. How many times have you seen Auburn fail, but then become like a fucking contender the next year? They're the most bipolar program in the SEC.
I mean,
so for you to because go look at go to Sports Reference and look at their records. Like 2010 national champs, 2011 garbage, 2012, 2013 in the national title game. So just remember,
it's a roller coaster.
And with the Auburn roller coaster, it's real. It's an SEC short. It's a very funny.
Yeah, it is. I remember that one because
the Auburn roller coaster is real. It's very real. You just never know what you're going to get.
2013. All right.
Yeah. So you don't know what you're going to get. You want to push the button, don't you? It's like it is like the best SEC short ever made. But no,
we'll be part of that next year, though.
Here's what I generally think. I'll put Auburn on there until I hear otherwise. So Auburn, Missouri, I think we'll beat Tennessee, I believe. Heupel coming back. I think we're going to be hyped for that one. I think we'll beat Tennessee. Who am I missing? There's well, yeah, obvious. I'm talking about new teams. Teams that we're going to play. Let's see. We got Mizzou. We got Auburn. We got Tennessee. We got Bama. We got LSU.
South Carolina.
Yeah, we'll beat the fuck out of South Carolina. Sorry.
Yeah, they're not good.
Sorry, Beamer. You're one of our few. We got 3 SEC home games next year, so South Carolina gonna get their ass. South Carolina gonna get their asses whipped. So
and it's the first time we play them ever, so they're gonna get destroyed.
Yes, no Spencer Rattler, which would have been fun, but oh well. But yeah, it's when
they boo them,
Bama and LSU,
just like at home.
I mean, Bama and LSU LSU's not going to have Jaden Daniels, so he's going to be gone. So
yeah,
LSU's I think we have to go to Baton Rouge, which is a game I've been dreaming about seeing OU do for a long time.
LSU keeps punting it for 20 years now.
Yeah, because we were supposed to play him. We were supposed to play him a few years ago, but had to replace him with UCLA. So it's
had to play him even a couple years ago after that, and then they had to punt it to the UCLA game.
So we're going to Baton Rouge next year. Bama at home is gonna be the biggest home game since Nebraska 2000.
Ohio State.
No, I would say Nebraska.
Well, yeah, you brought 2000. Yeah,
Nebraska 2000 was bigger than Ohio State 16. All due respect.
2000. I'd throw in there 2008 Texas Tech. That's a big home. But yeah, no, I agree.
I know that's a great moment for people, and I was there too. But I'm not putting Tech on the same level as an Alabama with a Nick Saban coached Alabama team. So
that's fair. Are you convinced Nick Saban's going to be there next year?
As of right now, yes. I mean, I've changed my mind a little bit on that. It's oh, he's very quietly getting Bama in position to make this playoff, isn't he? Okay. he's very quietly getting them in position to do something.
That's why I said I agree with you. I think it is gonna be the biggest home game in a long time.
Man, if they beat Georgia.
Let the controversy begin. But but I have this in my notes. You know who's not making it to the playoff this year because they're garbage and the entire world has turned against them?
I have no idea who you're speaking of. No,
I know, right?
I have no idea.
It starts with U and ends with an SC because they are hot garbage. Feinbaum even had something earlier today where he's like,
"Oh, please, Feinbaum's the first to turn on people. Let's not give him that much credit, okay?"
That's fair. That's fair.
Feinbaum's the first one to turn on you. He knows he's made a living being the mouth of the South. Okay, he knows what he's talking.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean. I saw the post of it's Lincoln Riley needs to get out of coach.
Now, Dan Mullen had the tweet of the year. It's are we sure the right coach in Los Angeles is on the hot seat?
Woo! Woo!
That Mullenade is spiked.
But it's true, though. I mean, we've been saying it for 2 years of you don't know what you got yourself into, and now they're saying,
hang on. To be fair, even the most bitter, hateful Oklahoma fan didn't see that coming. Let's be fair here. Last year was funny because they lost the conference title game and they choked against Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. Hilarious. That was all we needed to validate what we thought about him. But
it's literally when he lost. It's continued the slide of he's getting worse and worse.
He was 2 points away from losing 6 in a row to finish the season.
Yeah.
Like 2 points. So,
yeah.
And because Cal, basically, they were up 3 scores in the fourth quarter and they choked that game. But when we saw the second half of that schedule, like the joke was, oh man, there's at least 2, maybe 3 losses. They weren't all the big games outside. Cal wasn't a big game, all due respect. All the big games in the latter half, they lost them all. They lost them all
because they don't have defense at all.
Josh, what the fuck? They got Bear Alexander. He's the whole defense. Come on. He got Bear Alexander. He was a 5-star D tackle for Georgia. God damn it.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
They have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. And they lost them all because, listen, once in a while, Superman can't save the world by himself. There's a reason he has the Justice League. Okay?
True.
He didn't have he couldn't even get a fucking Green Lantern to help him out. So it's just like
nice reference.
It's proof. It is proof right there, in my humble opinion, that
you're so humble.
I'm very humble right now. Lincoln Riley is an offensive genius. The man has a photographic memory. I would love that man to run my offense. I really would. If I could get him to run OU's offense, all seriousness, put all the hate aside, I wouldn't mind that at all. But that's not real. That's not realistic. As a man running a program, being the CEO and running shit, he's a fraud.
He's garbage. He's garbage.
He the further away he got from Bob and from Schmitty and from all of Bob's fucking recruits, the more he got away from it, you saw the cracks of the foundation. And so, like everyone's telling OU fans, well, you're right. You don't have to be mad that he left anymore. No, but it doesn't mean we're not going to enjoy watching you all suffer.
Right. Well,
like
his legacy is going to be he ruined generational talent because of his own sociopathy.
He got a fucking Heisman. He got a Heisman. First of all, I love Caleb, and he was probably going to win one anyway. But let's be honest here. He backdoored into that Heisman trophy.
Oh yeah, because there's nobody.
Because everyone else who was up for it kept losing or getting hurt. It's like, well, I guess we'll give it to Caleb. That's what.
Yeah, it was literally hot potato.
It was like, who wants the Heisman? If you win this big game, you get the Heisman.
Oh boy, but you lose the next one.
Okay, it was one of those years. Just give it to who we think the best player is, Caleb Williams, and I have no problem with that because Jason White backed his way into a Heisman trophy. It happens. I'm not going to say
he couldn't have backed his way into a Heisman.
He got his ass whooped by K-State the week before he won the Heisman. So let's be honest.
He couldn't have. No, I'm saying he couldn't have. He doesn't have knees. How could he back his way into a Heisman?
Okay, anyway. I see what you're saying. But no, a lot of people were pissed he won the Heisman because of that game, that Big 12 championship. And it's like, well, it's not our fault you fuckers put in your votes in that early.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald should have won the Heisman. And then Bob called out ESPN bias for the Big East, and everyone got mad when he said that shit. But yeah, Bob didn't give a fuck. He was a stand up for his boy. So but yeah, just again, like
I just like the
well, that's what ESPN. That's my impression of ESPN from 2003. But no, like now the question is, does Caleb play in his bowl game?
No.
And here's the thing: we're not playing.
No.
And here's the thing: we're about to be a 10-win football team. We're not playing 7-win USC in a bowl game. So anyone who has that dream needs to throw it out the window. If we're going to the Alamo, we're going to play like Utah or somebody. Okay, so
add this in as well. This might be a spicy hot take, but I'm a firm believer now that we're in kind of hindsight is 2020. I think Caleb would have had a better career if he stayed at OU.
Oh no, I was actually thinking that earlier today. You're not wrong.
Oh, okay, then it's not a spicy take.
I don't think that's a hot take at all because
what did he do in college?
Well, dude,
he won a Heisman, and that's it.
Well, think about how many wins we get last year for Caleb just superheroing his way to a victory. How many games did we lose last year by like a possession?
It was like 5, wasn't it?
Dude, we're probably at least a 9-10 win team last year if he stays.
Yeah.
All due respect to the guys that were there last year. If Caleb was running the show with Eric Gray at running back and Marvin Mims and Farouk and hell, man, I who knows how the Texas game turns out? You don't know. I'm not saying we win that game because they were the quote unquote better team that day. Obviously, they had more depth because we had zero depth at quarterback. But it's like, who knows, man? And if he's the quarterback this year, imagine if Caleb's the quarterback this year with Jackson Arnold waiting in the wings. We're probably undefeated, and everyone's like, well, he probably doesn't win the Heisman last year. But if like Caleb's the guy this year, he probably wins it this year because we're probably undefeated. Because Caleb can take over a game. So, and he had to at times, but like, and just think he would have actually had a defense that could make plays for him.
Well, and
he would have like, especially this year. Can you imagine getting turnovers for Caleb Williams and giving him a short field in this offense?
Yeah.
So I know why he left. I understand why. Caleb
Williams, wanted to play for Riley. Yeah.
Riley recruited him. He was joined at the hip at Riley, and it's like, if he had a fucking time machine. Now look, at the end of the day, he's still gonna be the number one pick. All right. So it's not like he's hurt his. It's like everyone.
Unless it's some random NFL.
Everyone's pointing the blame at one man, Lincoln Riley, right now. So he has to eat the biggest shit sandwich ever. So
that's why I said, like, with the hindsight being with it, Caleb's biggest games that he won was OU Texas 2021, or you could argue 2022 Notre Dame and the bowl game. But besides that, a generational talent, never sniffed a playoff, never won a conference championship, and didn't even get close to winning one. Lincoln Riley set him up to fail.
Oh,
and that's the truth. He set him up to fail.
So, well, all those tweets from a couple of years ago are all the receipts are being pulled today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the receipts are being pulled. So, I just think it's hilarious that it's coming to fruition, and now
I like all the receipts being pulled on Matt Leinart. I mean, that's great.
Oh, Leinart's a douchebag. He's always been a douchebag. Even when he was in college, he was a douchebag. I've never liked Matt Leinart. So, again, just here's the thing. Caleb's the type of dude, as like people brand him as a certain way, and they're rightfully so. He has certain traits that are not ideal to be your starting quarterback in the league. But
correct.
I do think if push comes to shove, whatever bowl they go to, I think he will play in it. I'm kind of starting to lean that way. Unless it's just everybody in his inner circle says, fuck going to the Pissant Bowl or whatever, get ready for the draft. That's probably the difference.
Tell him to get ready. Like, why go play?
Because you know why I think that? Because he
wants to end out with a win.
Well, I do, because he could have easily said, fuck the Alamo Bowl, I'm entering the portal, goodbye. He didn't have to play in that Alamo Bowl.
Oh, I know.
He didn't have to do that. He left anyway, and it's like, jeez. I do think that there's a part of him that was conflicted on whether he wanted to stay or go. But he didn't have to play in that bowl game. If he was destined to go, I don't think he would have played in that game. That's why a lot of people thought he was going to stay. But so now it's like maybe it's different now. Maybe there's sour grapes with him and Lincoln. I don't know, but I think Riley's going to bolt. I think
absolutely.
If he gets an offer from the league somewhere, whether it's the Bears or whomever, I think the Raiders have an opening. I think so.
But it's still wild with Caleb though. Like, it's another Heisman quarterback that Riley ruined. I think Riley is like Matt Campbell. He didn't necessarily ruin Baker or Kyler. It's just that, Well, the one
as much as I despise Lincoln Riley, I don't blame him for not having a defense in the Rose Bowl. That's not Lincoln Riley's fault.
Right. All right. I don't blame that either.
When that game was over and he kept Mike.
Yes.
You should have probably made the move earlier. Because the next year you had Kyler and the same shit happened to you, but only worse. But that's where you saw.
And then next year you had Jalen and the same shit happened, and it only.
Well, no, that's where the erosion began, because I know, like, in a dream world, if Bob coached in 2017, maybe we win that game.
We win.
Like,
I absolutely believe we do.
Maybe. I don't know. That's not for sure, because let's not pretend Bob hasn't lost a big bowl game before, okay? but it's like, but you saw the erosion. It's like, yeah, in 2018, that Kyler, and he was awesome, and he, the Heisman door opened for him, and he took it, and I saw it in person where Alabama was just, oh, they have a defense, we have none, and Kyler Murray single-handedly made that a decent loss.
Yeah,
it was like 45-34 was the final score, some stupid shit like that, and it's like at the end of the day, it's like if it wasn't for Kyler Murray, that would have been a fucking blowout. So he was a respectable bowl loss almost. It could have been worse. And then when you don't have Kyler Murray, and then of all people, Jalen Hurts is a legit quarterback in the league now, and you could have fooled me back in 2019. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we were at the Houston game and we were both like, okay.
Well, because he turned him to a one-man offense.
Yeah,
like that's what I hated. I don't hate Jalen personally. I hated that he was a fucking one-man offense, and it's like we have Trey Sermon. Hand him the fucking ball once in a while. Jalen's gonna run it himself every time. Fuck me.
The one thing that we could add though with Caleb as well, and it is a concern because it's already being talked about, is Caleb has to realize he's going to be the worst player on the team when he joins.
Wait, back up. He's gonna be the what now?
He's whatever team he's going to be drafted to. He is going to be the worst player on the team starting off.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's a lot of talk that Caleb's ego has inflated, essentially that he wants to go to a team that's not the worst team, so he's not the worst player. He is going to be the worst player on the team starting off until he gets that experience.
I don't know how you came to that fucking conclusion.
Whatever NFL team he's going to be on, he's going to be the least experienced player. So that makes a lot
least
of sense.
Experience is different from worst.
Right. Well, if you have no experience, you're going to be the worst. But I'm not saying he's going
to climb
up the ranks really fast.
Being the least experienced doesn't mean you're the worst player. I don't know how you came to that conclusion.
Well, the second thing, though, too, is they said that he has regrets and he is going to be a project. They said he's playing at a sophomore level.
Dak Prescott in 2016 was a 4th-round pick. He was not the worst player on the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, I always would go with the assumption.
I'm sorry,
Josh,
be the
worst player.
Josh, I love you to death, but you're full of shit.
That's fine.
That makes no goddamn sense. What you just said. He's the worst player.
Well, until he gets the experience.
How you come to I don't know how your brain came up with that. I want some. Okay,
well, that's fine.
Whatever you're smoking.
But the other thing, talking about the experience, though, they have said being at USC, he has regressed. Though he's still playing at a sophomore level.
Was Joe Burrow the worst player on the Bengals when he got drafted?
I would say yes, but that's only because no experience.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
I'm looking at it as experience. I'm not saying he's the worst and then the next day.
Just because you lack experience doesn't make you the worst at something. You could be a fucking phenom. Josh, when Adrian Peterson was a true freshman at Oklahoma, was he the worst player in Oklahoma?
No, not at all.
He doesn't have college experience, Josh.
I see it.
Was he the worst player?
I'm seeing the NFL.
I'm using the same logic you are. Was Adrian Peterson as a true freshman in 2004 the worst player on the team? To be
fair, can you give me a different one? Because Adrian could have entered the NFL at that point, so that's a little bit different.
But he doesn't have any college experience, so that makes him the worst player based on your criteria. Think about what you're saying.
I'm looking at the NFL as a different monster than the college.
It's not really that much different. You're still on the same level. It's the same thing with high school or peewee. Just because you don't, but having no experience doesn't make you the worst at something.
I would say the learning curve.
You could be a natural talent.
Correct.
Was Caleb Williams the worst player on Oklahoma in 2021?
No, not at all.
Okay, but he didn't have any experience compared to Spencer Rattler.
I would also say, too, he had 6 games of practice on the scout team. But, again, I'm not saying that he's not going to have a learning curve. That would be stupid. That would be absolutely asinine.
You don't draft a guy number 1 overall for him to be the 4th-string quarterback year 1. Not in today's league.
No, of course not. And I would not disagree with that. But
you're insane.
I mean, that's fair. I am insane. But
Ed, come get your son. Take him to the ER now. Ed, come get your son. Take him to the ER now.
Dad would agree with me, dude. We've talked about it. But Dad also looks at the NFL as a completely different monster too. But
yes, but
that aside, but
no one on the planet, if Caleb Williams goes to the fucking Bears, he's not the worst player.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody else is drafted, sure, or if other players are drafted, sure, but
what?
Regardless, the other part of the Caleb's biggest thing is as they said, he is not playing at the level they want him to. He's going to be a project.
Josh, I love you, but that's the worst take I've ever heard you make in my life. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I mean, don't worry. There's more opportunities in the future.
That was awful. That was that was embarrassing on so many levels, and you should feel bad. I want you to know that deep down in my heart. I really want you to know that. You should feel bad.
Okay.
Anyway,
switch to the other thing though. Like I've been trying to. The NFL scouts and stuff, all the little tidbits that have been leaked, however you want to define it, says Caleb is not playing where they want him to, and that he is going to take time because Riley did not develop him. They said that is a true problem, regardless of where he goes.
Who said that? Okay, who said that now?
A lot of the NFL scouts or whatever that have leaked out like info since
I think it was USC you know what we got
Washington.
We got till the end of April to worry about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, we'll worry about if Tyler Guyton goes pro or something.
You know, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
I mean, wherever Tyler goes, he's going to be the worst player on the team. So even if he's the first round pick, so
absolutely,
he's the worst player on the team. We drafted this first rounder, worst player on the team. Why did you pick him? Because.
Do you think? I don't think Tyler's going to go.
I think
I'm going to be honest. I don't think he is.
I'll tell you what. If he doesn't play on Friday, he going pro right now because he's still in protocol. If he's cleared now, I think if he's cleared, all due respect, he's going to play because he's not
going to miss out. If there's one thing we've all seen though,
Tyler got on
senior night.
Well, it's not even just that. It's just he's a team player and he knows if they win and things fall their way, they go to Arlington, so he's not going to fuck them over. But he's like we'll worry about NFL early draft entries unless until after the weekend because we may or may not have another game to play. We'll see. But
right.
All I know is that TCU is just fucking the beginning of the season, man. Like also before the USC receipts were pulled, everyone's pulling Colorado hot take receipts.
About that being
going to make a. I mean, grown-ups knew Colorado was going to struggle to make a bowl game this year, but they beat TCU because they heard of TCU before because they played in the championship game and just thought TCU was last year's team. That's how they traded them. It's like, no.
Exactly. And they didn't realize they lost, the COVID players.
Well, yeah, they were a super COVID team because they had extra year guys, and that's what helped them out get to that make that run. And I'm not holding that against them. Good for them. But it's just the fact that you see all the hot take people saying, "If how dare you question Deion? That makes you racist." Like fuck those people. But like they beat
because
TCU.
The receipts are not getting pulled. Yeah,
but they played TCU. They beat TCU, and my first thought was, "Wow, TCU is trash." Because they just lost to a fucking Colorado team, and boy, did that point turn out to be fucking true. Because like Deion was getting clicks and ratings, like talk Deion, talk Colorado, talk Deion, talk Colorado. It's like it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of horse shit. They almost lost to Colorado State. They probably should have gotten that close. Hello. He turned over an entire roster. Hello.
Yeah, literally and I mean, you and I said it last year too. There was games that TCU won by luck. They were going to get their shit shoved in.
I had to hear shit like. Just Deion's waiting for the Bama job or the A&M job. Can this motherfucker like rebuild Colorado first to be something?
If there's one thing too, though,
can he get them to like 10 wins or something before we crown his ass? But like Jackson State is great. Congratulations, you convinced the number one player in the country to go to fucking Jackson State, Travis Hunter. Congratulations. Can you build a program, like build it, and like be. Can Colorado be a regular power in the new expanded Big 12? That's fair to ask. So before you crown his ass and just give him his flowers too early, You want to give him flowers for being like the greatest corner of all time, by all means, do it. But fuck, man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad the fucking Colorado train derailed super
because
early.
we don't because it
the one time I rooted for USC this year. It was that annoying. It was like,
and it almost happened.
Please, Riley. Please, Caleb, beat this team. Please, Riley, beat this team. Do something, anything. Ugh. Texas versus Georgia. I didn't root for anybody in that game, really. I thought it was hilarious that Bevo almost killed Uga. That was funny as fuck.
That was the best offense of the entire game.
Someone got mad at me on Twitter. It's like, how dare you say that? That's poor innocent. Oh, fuck you. Shut up.
These are the same people too.
If the dog really got killed, I wouldn't be. I'm not really trying to say. It's funny that someone thought it was a good idea. Let's get a picture. Let's get both mascots. Let's get a picture with both mascots together. Let's bring a dog wearing a red sweater in front of a longhorn steer and see what the fuck happens.
Before giving him his meds.
Yeah, before giving him his meds. Yeah.
They still don't believe that.
There's Uga in his bright red, varsity sweater. Oh shit!
It's just asking for trouble.
I thought only Bulls did that. Where's Bugs Bunny when you need him?
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Seriously, one of the funniest fucking moments in the history of football because nobody got hurt. It was just really funny.
Oh yeah, because it's what we've always said. Bevo lost his shit. Yeah.
Let's get a picture with both live animal mascots because putting two animals together, nothing bad will happen, right? If you want to do that with two dogs, fine. They'll sniff each other's asses or something, and it'll be a funny little moment. All right. Let's bring up Mike the Tiger. Let's take him out of that cage. Make sure he's on his leash. Good job. Oh, Mikey, he wants to say hello. He wants to knead your chest. No, he wants to rip your organs out and murder you. Because he's stuck in that fucking cage.
To mention with TCU, do you think I believe you as well that I don't think OU is going to lose. However, TCU is one game off from being bowl eligible.
They are. That's adorable. Fuck them. Fuck them.
No, should they be a little concerned? Like they're going to throw
because Brent's going to get them fired up. You win this fucking game, so you can get a chance to go to Arlington. My only wish is that it was a win and you're in scenario. Because then Danny Stutzman can take over and say, let's beat these motherfuckers and go to Arlington. He would say some shit like that. But you don't have control over that. But they're probably going to do that anyway. Look out. This is our last fucking home game. Let's win one for our crowd. Let's win They want to get double-digit wins. Because last year was a fucking disaster on so many levels. And some of it's Brent's fault. Some of it was the outgoing fucking coach because he tried to light the fucking program on fire before he left,
and some of it was the toxicity with some of the players at Wanye that didn't want to commit. They did just enough so it wouldn't affect their draft stock.
Yeah, Wanye. Anyway, they're so mad at Wanye Morris. Anyway,
because he was one of them. Like I have no problems calling out players. Like he was one of them. We all know it.
I forgot he existed at this point, so I don't lose sleep on Wanye Morris. He's gone.
Is he even playing in the league?
Well, I mean, if he is, he's the worst player on the team, right?
Oh, well, in his case, probably, yes.
Worst player on the team. Like a TCU, they've had their moments here and there. They almost came back to beat Texas. Would have been nice if they did. Would have been hilarious, but Texas took care of business last night, but for TCU, it's the first there's the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving, which I give two shits about. So I'm not from Mississippi. Don't care about the Egg Bowl. I know I'm not a real.
You're gonna have to care about it next year.
No, I won't. I won't have to give a fuck about the Egg Bowl because guess what? The Mississippi schools ain't gonna be affecting us very much outside of Ole Miss, which I think will beat. Like I said, the team Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee. Fucking, we'll have a decent record next year. Is it gonna be 10 wins? 4 cupcakes. Can we get 6 wins? Texas will be tough regardless. Fuck, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Fuck it. Let me see if I can imagine. Let's see if we can get 10 wins out of this. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Oh, what was it?
Fucking hell.
I was trying to find the
Fuck you. I don't want to allow ads, FB schedules. Fuck you. No ads for you. All right. Fuck off. I'm using ad blocker. You don't deserve it. All right. Temple, Houston. Actually, it's kind of a decent schedule if it's this year.
Yeah.
Could you, because we have Tulane on the schedule again. Could you imagine we played Tulane this year?
That'd be a good game.
But next year, probably not.
Yeah, because they're going to graduate all those people.
Yeah, they don't.
While you're looking at the schedule,
all right, Temple, Houston.
Do you think Jeff Lebby has been contacted for A&M or another job?
If A&M hires Jeff Lebby, it'll be the funniest fucking hire ever because A&M will just half of their fans will kill themselves, and I'll happily dance on their graves. Temple, Houston, Tulane, and Maine. Maine is going to be your cupcake week game more than likely in November, so we're SEC ready there already. So that's 4 wins. That's 4 wins. I'm going to give us. I'm going to be very, very. I'm going to give us Tennessee, South Carolina. That's 6. Missouri. That's 7. Auburn. That's 8. That I think we should potentially. Now Tennessee fans will be mad at me if I say, "How could you say that?" It's like I'm starting to believe Tennessee's a little bit of a one-year wonder, maybe.
And it's in Norman.
Yeah, and it's in Norman. Ole Miss, I think, could be fun. I think we can win that one. So that's 9. So
Bama,
Texas,
LSU, and Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Bama, LSU. Could we win one of the 3? I think we could beat Texas.
Yeah, I think we could beat Texas.
I mean,
because
Quinn is come. I mean, listen, I know Quinn is coming back next year, so there'll be no quarterback controversy.
Exactly. I mean, remember, Archibald Manning is very graceful and very humble. Of course, he would let Quentin Ewers
the greatest prospect in the history of the planet Earth, or the universe at least, is going to sit another year
because he wants.
He didn't need to go to any camps. He didn't need to go to the Elite 11. He didn't need to play any All-Star games. His last name is Manning, so therefore he's just good.
Exactly,
so, he'll sit another year.
Yeah, and he's going to give him the Manning blessing to do so.
Mm-hmm. He's so awesome. He drank from the Holy Grail at the end of Last Crusade, and so therefore he has extra powers.
Exactly.
God. It's win or lose, it will be a fun schedule. It's a fun schedule already. So
it's the most exciting schedules OU's had in a long. I think last I checked was like 2003.
The most exciting since the heyday of the Big 12, when the Big 12 was the original Big 12. Honestly, the 2000 schedule was holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's what makes the season.
We had a garbage non-conference schedule and the tough month of October, and we have an easy November, and everyone's hurt. We're just trying to survive.
Well, and I mean, to our credit and stuff too, it's also too, if you do the flip side of it, if they do the back and forth for it, we'll get LSU at home, and we'll get Auburn at home, and we'll get
I mean, we'll see how that. We will find out probably.
Gosh, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was about to say it's either the week of the conference title games or the week after. So we'll find out the actual order these games are played, and then we can. Because I mean, they already have the dates for Temple, Houston, and Tulane. Those are set. So we're playing. I mean, unless they move, I don't know if they're going to move them around now. But so we're not going to play a conference game till like week 4. So, like our game against Maine is going to be that November cupcake week. It's just is what it is
for senior night.
Yeah, sure. It'll be on ESPN Plus exclusively, and so.
Yep.
How do I watch the game? You have streaming. I have to turn that on. Yep. Sorry, Grandpa. Yep. You turn that on.
They shouldn't be putting the OU games on streaming.
It's 2024. You should know how to do streaming by now. It's not new. It's been around for over a decade.
You need to tell us how to do it.
It's been around for over a decade. You should know how streaming works. You have like 3 streaming. You have 3 streaming accounts that you're paying for every month that you don't know you have.
It's true.
listen, I got my Disney bundle, so like I don't want ESPN,
which is gonna be weird.
I don't want ESPN to get sold off by anybody because I like my Disney bundle, and so people say Disney Plus sucks. Are you fucking kidding me? I love Disney Plus. It has all my shit.
Well, it sucks because now that they bought Hulu, like it's just going to be rolled into Disney Plus. How that's going to work?
Great. There's lots of shit I like on Hulu too. So it's like I feel like I'm getting my money's worth with that bundle. So it's like I got the 25. It's like $25 a month. I get like 3 services. Even if they merge them, okay, I'm still getting the same content. It's just in 2 places. For the most part, I'm getting the same content. So that's what I care
for the most part, yeah.
I got my cartoons, my Marvel movies, my sports. You know, it's like there's only like I have HBO Max, Max, which Max HBO started. Max. No, it's just Max now.
Oh, I know it's Max, but HBO Max.
you know what really sucks is that HBO Max started off as like the best streaming service.
And then
it had a great start because it didn't just have like all the HBO stuff. It's like, holy shit, it's got a bunch of legacy programming on there. Like,
maybe it had a lot of DC stuff on there.
Yeah, it has all the DC stuff. They merged the DC streaming service. That was great. I grew up in the 90s, so I put on like 90s sitcoms on the background while I was working on stuff. And it's like, I got all these 90s sitcoms I used to watch. And that was cool. And now it's like, and people start hate because like they got rid of a bunch of Cartoon Network exclusive shit.
Right, because and that's because
it just disappeared with no Warner Discovery happened.
Well, and that's, I mean, to be fair, that's why the writer's strike and the acting strike happened to stop them from doing the Coyote versus Acme tax write-off. They're tired of that shit.
Well, yeah, and it sounds like
and creators are very justified on that.
Well, a bunch of companies are raising their hands saying John Cena in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon movie, we'll take it.
Oh, even more, the companies are saying, if you're going to do that, we're not going to work with y'all. Well, I'm sorry. Well, it's too late, guys. Like, you can't keep making these films and then just write it off just so you don't lose the rights to it.
Oh, please. They did that shit all the time back in the 80s and 70s with TV shows and never saw the light of day. They would film entire seasons for TV shows way back in the day and just put them in the can and never air them.
Oh, I know. It's the same thing with the rumored Fantastic Four and the
entire seasons and shit. So it's like, we're going to make this shitty Fantastic Four movie because we want to keep the rights, and it'll never see the light of day unless a bootleg copy gets out into the wild. Oh, it did. And ironically, that bootleg Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie is like the best Fantastic Four movie to this day.
That's the entire irony of it.
It's like if you go into it knowing they're on a shoestring budget,
it's like
the actors are paid $1.50 an hour, and it's on a shoestring budget, and the post and all the post effects from back then weren't finished. Some audio redubbing wasn't done because you hear Dr. Doom, and he sounds like this, and he doesn't have a ADR dub, so you can't. So they would ADR him after the fact, but they didn't do that. So if you go in knowing that, with like, okay, all this shit, it's actually a charming Fantastic Four movie.
It's funny because it's like shoestring budget. It's not that bad. Now look at Madam Web. Big budget, gonna flop.
Oh no, Sony wants to make every Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah. They're doing well so far.
No, they're not.
Right, that's the joke. They're not.
You said it's serious.
They're doing very well for not doing it. They're dropping it.
This is the same company that got tricked by the internet by putting Morbius back in theaters because it was a meme. It's like, no, you morons. Memes don't mean like everybody knows everybody's in on the joke. Morbid Time wasn't big enough for like the entire country to get a re-release of Morbius.
No,
we have gone off the rails here. We're not even talking football anymore.
That's okay.
We were talking about because we brought up streaming services and talked about how the main game is going to be on streaming, and that's what got into this. But yeah, the main Black Bears will be on streaming next year, guaranteed. So
absolutely.
But no more pay-per-views. Well, we've got rid of pay-per-views after last year, but
thank God.
So
that was frustrating. For me, the pay-per-views, it was less about it being a pay-per-view, but more of, oh yeah, we're going to charge you $60. Are you out of your mind?
Like, remember when I came up for the one game and it was like there was potential that I may not come because there was a hurricane potentially going to hit Florida. It's like,
Yeah.
who were we playing the week after? It was Houston, but who was the week after? It was some garbage team. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, it was like Chattanooga or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't China, but it's like, if I'm stuck here, how much are tickets? Because it was a cheap ticket you could get. It's like, it's cheaper to go to the game than get it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, because we talked about that. Like, you could just South Dakota. That was it.
Yeah, South Dakota.
Yeah, because we talked about, we're like, that was the hurricane. Do we want to try it? And we were in serious talks of like, you could just chill for like a couple days, and then
No, my aunt and uncle's like, you need to go. I was like, all right. They were very adamant. No, you need to go. I was like, okay. So I was watching that thing like a hawk. And it's just like, it was a small storm, but it was like, because I know what's going to happen if it skews into the state for whatever reason, and I have to fly, and I get stuck in like Atlanta or something because I can't.
Yeah.
That was my nightmare scenario for that, but that didn't happen. So.
No, it didn't even get to that point.
No,
but no, I mean, people need to roll. Well, I always say these games, this is the family game. It's the game you bring the kids to because there's cheap.
Yeah, you get cheap.
Except for the people that are out of their minds for like the South Dakota. I want $100. Are you insane?
Well, the first thing we need to do when July 1st takes place and we're official members is to scream about, we need to play 9 conference games, because I guarantee you the fact that we're starting out with like most of our SEC games on the road, because we have 3 home games in conference because the Texas game is at a neutral site.
Well, and that's a reason why
because Georgia and Florida have the same problem at times.
Correct. Well, and that's why to me that's why OU always did their best for get out of conference games, because we played Texas neutral site. We never got that big home game, and that did affect to me the home slate a lot.
Well, yeah, we try to get a helmet you recognize to come play here on occasion, but again, it's like Georgia was supposed to be this year, and God, I'll tell you what, man, like Georgia's really good now, but
gonna be fun.
I'm really curious. I'm still curious, like, because we started off really hot, and Georgia started off a little slow. I'm not saying we win, but how close that could that game possibly have been any close at all to wake up some people? Like, I think Georgia wins regardless, but I'm talking about like Georgia in September to Georgia now are different football teams.
Well, that's because
Georgia has awoken, and they are a Kraken team. They're the Kraken once again. It's like, oh shit, Georgia's good again. Because they were struggling. They struggled to beat Auburn. They struggled with South Carolina. So don't sit here and tell me that OU in September in Norman could have made it a game. I think we
till the middle of the third.
Yeah, we lose the game, but it's like, man, because Brock Bowers just keeps making plays or some shit like that. But part of me wonders like how close that game would have been potentially.
I'm going to say, okay.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
You'll never know, because I'm going to say, wouldn't it have been for the sole fact that even though our D was playing out of their minds, the secondary was still okay-ish, and I think Brock Bowers would have abused the secondary.
Yeah, it's
the secondary really didn't get going until
the problem we would run into is that we weren't running the ball effectively yet.
Correct.
Andrew Anthony was our best receiver. Other guys were still kind of getting there. We didn't know who Nick Anderson hadn't really emerged yet. So I can pick all these things apart and say how, but again, Georgia probably wins, but it's like all I care about right now is getting to Friday, getting a W, and just wait and see what happens. I'm going to ho-hum root for Texas to win. Not really root, I'm going to root for Texas not to lose, just to make things easier for Saturday.
Correct.
Because I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, could Iowa State go on the road and beat K-State and Farmageddon? Sure, they could. But like that would like having it's just the scenarios. If only you could have matched up 2 better scenarios. If I could have married Texas winning with Iowa State winning, that would have been great. But I can't marry those two because it's not going to get us in.
Correct.
So you need a little bit of an upset. You either need Tech to win and then root for Iowa State, K-State, or if Texas wins, you need a spooky Mormon hell dream to happen. So
which is possible. I mean, Houston made it a game until they just ran out of gas. I think BYU might have a little bit more in them. I'm not going to say they're going to win because
Houston fucked up.
But yeah,
Houston fucked up. They got that unsportsmanlike. Yeah. And if they would have gotten the ball back, they could have put another touchdown on them. That I could have ended the game pretty much early.
Yep.
And they fucked up. And then OSU got like 2 scores late before the half ended.
Yep.
It's like all those don't have. Oh, it's like I hate depending.
It's why Dana's a horrible coach.
It's I hate depending on other teams to get you where you want to go. It's our fault. It's our own fault. We're in this position.
Yeah,
it's our own damn fault. So anyway,
so we went almost 90 minutes, Sean. I want to thank you for joining tonight. I want to thank everybody
I said fuck a lot in this episode.
That's okay. I mean, we'll add a little counter in at the end. It'll be like South Park, old school. Everybody, thanks for joining. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, like, hit the bell. You know, when we upload video, go live. Be sure to watch some of the older videos. Again, they're great background content if you're doing chores, just want something in the background in general with it. We'll be on live. We will do Wednesday because Thursday's Thanksgiving, Friday's the game. Wednesday, we will do the standard pregame show. I don't know how much show there's going to be because it is TCU. But then again, we said that about BYU, and look what the result was. So we'll still have a show. Swiggy and Gavin are going to both be on. Sean, you're more than welcome to join as well for Wednesday night. Otherwise, guys,
I'm going to see The Abyss remastered in 4K.
During the actual live stream?
No, I'm going to see James Cameron's The Abyss remastered in 4K.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm doing Wednesday. I know I have to work. Anyway, Boomer Sooner guys, only one. Glad we beat BYU. Moving on to TCU as we hit the finale of the 2023 season. Everybody, have a good one. Later.